but my timing has completely reset, so I'm just seeing a bunch of ones and zeros on my pit counter right now. But we should be having some action here fairly soon. Full fuel, fresh tires, and another reset of pit strategy. And there's spreadsheets being deleted, edited, and thrown away, hand over fist right now. With 13 hours, 43 minutes remaining, and sunrise probably due in, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 hours right now.
Yes, and of course when they do restart, the order will be jumbled up. No grid sorting in this series, so you'll have hypercars mixed in with P2s, mixed in with GT3s. A perfect recipe for some chaos, I think.
Yeah, too right, and to bring up a cliche, yellows beget yellows, and we could certainly see that happening with a mixed grid on that charge down the pit straight into the Dunlop curve for the first time. Everybody's going to have to keep it chill, and hopefully everybody has somebody in their ear, like Connor, like saying, cold tires, cold tires, cold tires, don't bend the car. But looks like that start still may be a ways off. Seeing a couple of GT3 cars coming into the pits right now. So
safety car will be deployed momentarily.
Does this group
pits are closed.
Or no, here comes a prototype. I was about to ask if they had them pit in separate groups during the safety car, but it looks like that is not the case. But a couple GT3s coming through. Saw that P2 rolling through. It looks like all of the hypercars are back on course though currently. So just waiting for that time to tick down. Again, apologies for that technical problem, but couldn't have happened at a better time, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And we should be getting back underway here pretty soon.
Yes, the safety car is going to be deployed imminently. As you can see, just a moment, the lights will be flashing on top of it, meaning it will be getting ready to come on track, which, as the viewers will be happy to hear, means we are one step closer to getting back to green.
The car is on the front straight to reduce your speed. Safety car is exiting the pits now. Safety car is going to be picking up car number 58. Car 58, look out for the safety car. Follow in behind safety car, please.
And like a distant voice, I feel like I hear the race director speaking. Can't quite make out what he's saying, though.
So the safety car is going to have to, for some reason or another, the safety car came out whilst some cars had passed. The safety car in this series has to catch the leader. The queue will form behind it, and for any P2s, GT3s who are ahead of their class leader in the queue, they get a wave around. So just need to see where that safety car's at.
Yeah, major reshuffling here. A few of the leaders had significant leads, and we saw that out of both of the Paul Botting cars, one in GT3, that Ferrari with Engelstad behind the wheel, also Surlick behind the wheel of that Pro-Am LMP2 car. Both had pretty significant gaps behind. All for nothing. It all goes back to zero. And that's why when you're in an enduro, you keep your head down and keep pedaling, because you never know what is going to happen. So a lot of these drivers are going to have their hands full. It's, I find it pretty hard to keep your focus during a long safety car period like this. And
all cars.
We touched on it before. I think it really helps to have a teammate on comms to keep talking to you, keep you focused, keep your mental checklist going, keep the reminders going, and apparently it reminds you to check your gauges as well, which, as I said, never would have occurred to me, but saw a mechanical failure due to overheating during a prior safety car during this race. So that is a new one on me, so I'll put that in my endurance notebook for sure.
Yes, as you can see, the safety car has found the leader, so that means another step closer, viewers. So we'll have some green flag running before you know it. Looking at the previous lap times, they've been taking 15 minutes to do a lap on pit speed limiter. So plenty of time for the tires to cool down and for drivers' minds to wander. So it's on their spotters, like you said, to lock them back in and get them ready for this restart that's on the horizon.
And I saw a little weaving there, and I thought I caught wind of some penalties or at least warnings being issued for that earlier in this event. So what are the rules regarding tire warming behind the safety car?
So lots of warnings, like you said. There is no weaving after it is arnage, so no more weaving after arnage. And I believe it will be a drive-through if it carries on. So so after arnage, you've got to keep her straight. Just get ready for the start.
Okay, so they're safe now, but they got to stop it after arnage. So
yes.
And have we lost our feed? We're going to just look at that here really quickly. Nope, looking good. All right, and that is Fabio Ciambella behind the wheel of that 58 Porsche 963 Porsche Acelith P1 overall. So he is going to be the first man to see the green when it flies here. Lights on still on the safety car.
In the early stages, the Acelith Porsche 963 was showing great fuel mileage. They were managing to go longer than anyone else in Hypercar. And, whilst they were able to do that in the early stages, it really gets eradicated when the safety car's on track because, like we've alluded to before, everyone tends to just top off just so they know they're on the same strategy as the others going into the restart. So it'd be interesting to see if they can continue that trend through the night.
It looks like we're about to take our most relaxed visit to Indianapolis, the site of the incident that started this whole situation with Winter and that botting Ferrari getting caught in the Armco. So keep an eye on the lights on that safety car. Hopefully they will go out here in a minute, which will signal a restart is going to happen the next time around. So keep our fingers crossed from that. Field still a little bit spread out here, though. I assume they're under directions to tighten that pack up before the start.
Well, they'll be carrying out some waiver rounds for the LMGT3s and LMP2s who are ahead of their class leaders in the queue, and then they'll have to catch the field right the way around the circuit, catch the back of the train, and then once all those are cycled through, it'll be time for some more green flag running. Only 2 retirements so far in this race. We lost the LMP2 Pro team, Grow Racing team, and we've also lost the number 4 Delta Racing LMGT3 BMW M4. The only 2 retirements as we head into 13 hours and 35 minutes remaining of this 24-hour race. Cars streaming through at low speed.
12, use caution, you're catching the field. All cars
as
slow it down, you're catching the back, please.
Race control urge caution as cars catch the end of the field. There have been a part of some championship races where checkups have really caused some issues, and there have been collisions and black and orange flags thrown for cars being a little too eager to catch the back of the queue. So certainly want to avoid that in this race.
Yeah, and so many ways to be that guy or that gal in an endurance race, and you never want to be that guy or that gal because your teammates are relying on you not to make mistakes, but everybody makes them, and that is certainly one. We've seen plenty of incidents on pace laps, and coming. Are we at Arnage now? Yeah, it looks like we are. Just entering the Porsche curves. Don't see the pace car right now. Hopefully the lights are out, but there's still some shuffling going on as the cars get in the proper order.
Most importantly for you and I, there is a sea of beautiful yellow lights. Chris, if you're listening, yellow lights are here by popular demand. Obviously, we had Lorenzo in the booth earlier. It was unanimous. The three of us keep the yellow lights.
Well, and frankly, it's a safety issue for drivers as well. It's just one more piece of information that you need, especially at night when things are hectic and your heart is pounding. It's good to know what those lights behind you are.
Oh, yes. Easy to differentiate approaching prototype or approaching LMGT3 behind you. And the fact it just looks cool as a bonus. I believe when they cross the line, as we said before, the wave around procedures will be given to the cars that are ahead of their class leaders in the queue. So give them another shot at getting back into this race. Right near the front of the queue is Rosso Esports LMGT3 Ferrari. They will get a wave around in that all red Ferrari 296. One of the early front runners before a couple of collisions have put them 4 laps down, and they currently hold the fastest lap of the race in LMGT3 with a 3:53.590, a blistering lap in any conditions. So they'll be hoping this could be an avenue back into the race. They'll be 3 laps down by the time they catch the back of the queue. So all to play for still. Not even at half race distance.
Yeah, that 3:53.5 is absolutely smoking. Pretty favorable conditions out here right now. Ambient temps about 18 degrees, track temp 19. So conditions quite friendly to put down hot laps, and that is definitely happening out there for Sikorsky in that Project 91 992 GT3R.
Yeah, the two drivers with the 2 fastest laps in LMGT3 currently sit 17th and 18th, 3 and 4 laps down respectively. So if you ever wanted evidence that this is a marathon and not a sprint, there you are. 2 of the fastest teams mired down in the midfield, multiple laps down. So just goes to show, you got to pace yourself. And you've seen some teams whose fastest laps are in the 56s. Eric Terry Hag, Vulture Motorsports sitting P5. They've quietly made their way up the order. So yes, it's not about raw pace. It's about keeping out of trouble. And as Eric Terry Hag says, hi from inside car 64 in the comment section. Eric, you should probably focus on the track, my friend. Keep moving forward. But great race. As you can see, the wave rounds are happening down the Mulsanne here.
Hi from inside car 64, and somebody's taken their cell phone out of their fire suit to send us that message on our YouTube chat. And I'll tell you, looking at that line of cars as it is right now, as you said, they're not going to reshuffle the classes. So the start is going to be taken in the order that you're seeing on the screen. And I don't think I would want to be. There's a GT3 car right behind the leader. There's 2 of them. And I don't think I would want to be in either of those cars on this restart, as the prototypes from behind are going to want to take advantage of the restart to attack Ciambella up front. And there's the in-car view from the second of those 2 GT3 cars looking ahead to the leader. You can just barely see the lights on that safety car. They're running along with Ingolstadt. That is Connor's teammate, of course, and the Paul Botting Ferrari currently running in P1, but no longer enjoying the gap that he had earlier thanks to the restart. So
The only
Ingolstadt
positive.
won't-
Oh, sorry, mate.
Oh, go ahead.
Carry on. But the only positive is once the hypercars and the LMP2s make their way past, you'll be safe for about, I don't know, 10 minutes, if that, before they start making their way back through.
Yeah, well, you know what? That is a benefit. That could kind of let you take a breather and do your racing with your other cars in your class before the storm of hypercars comes through to break up the party. That's a very good point.
Very much the calm before the storm. As when it goes quiet and all you see is, talking from a LMGT3 perspective, all you see is yellow lights around you. You know you're safe for a bit of time, but it is nerve-wracking knowing that they are somewhere on the track hunting you down. So, yeah. Eric getting told off by his teammate Shreyas in the comment section, telling him eyes forward.
And there is a look at that number 5 992 GT3R with Terry Hag behind the wheel. That classic Gulf livery. Never get tired of that one. As Hag getting ready to take the start along with the rest of these drivers. And, things have worked out pretty well for Ingolstadt sitting in P1. Despite the restart, he's got what our timing thinks is still a pretty significant gap back to P2. So he's just going to have to keep that car clean and avoid getting tangled up with any prototypes, let them all through, and then focus on rebuilding that gap that he's lost.
Yeah, I think I counted around 17 cars he has between himself and P2 in class. So that's a bonus for him. That's probably the best possible outcome you can have from a safety car. Where the gaps get closed down, all you can hope for is that there's a lot of different class cars between you and the next car in your class, and they have that.
Yeah, certainly sitting pretty in that car up 17. that can't be right. They didn't qualify P18, did they? That 113 car?
No, we qualified P9. I'm not quite sure it's saying there.
Okay.
P9 on the grid. We made Hyperpole and sent me out, and I put it P9. So not quite sure where it's dragging those numbers from.
Yeah, well, it's our timing software not always perfect, especially under safety car conditions when all the reshuffling is going on. But suffice to say, Engelstad's sitting pretty right now where he is. As long as he can let those hypercars past him cleanly, he's going to have a clear track in front of him and a lot of obstacles between him and Pinto in that virtual power 911 sitting in P2. So things looking good for Ingolstadt. When the restart was in the cards, that they might have been nervous about where they would end up, but they're definitely looking good.
Yes, the problem with being so far up the queue is that a freight training is on its way via hypercars and LMP2s. He's the second car in the queue, so that means one hypercar in front of him, 16 behind him. So just needs to keep it clean.
Yeah, and since we're talking about it, we might as well count the P2 cars as well. So that is 32 prototypes that will need to get past Ingolstadt in the first lap for him to be able to take a breath and enjoy the clear space he's going to have in front of him.
Sorry, I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. I need to try and separate this commentary gig with my 113 gig. It's hard when Amet keeps pulling up my team, so maybe we should focus on someone else for a bit.
Well, this it is 2:00 in the morning, and then some, 2:30. So we're probably safe to let our commentary wander a little bit, and certainly. Nothing wrong to cheer on your buddies out there. So it is a team sport after all.
Yeah. I mean, while we're on the topic, I've gone all out on my entries this year. I race as team principal owner, Paul Botting Motorsport Racing in memory of my late father, and he was going to come to Le Mans with me. So I thought, what better time than ever to represent his name, keep it alive in the virtual world. So we've got 4 cars going all out here, and even though the 100s encountered some difficulties, a couple of the drivers on the team knew him, so they won't be throwing in the towel no matter how many laps down they are.
Well, excellent. Now that's an outstanding tribute, and yeah, I like it.
So that's why it's just do get a bit too involved when I see them. So yeah, it's making for great close racing though. This safety car, as much as I would prefer it not the case. As a neutral, it's great, and just looking forward to getting back under green flag conditions. Looks like we'll be going for one more lap, hopefully, whilst we give the final wave around drivers a chance to catch a queue, which I believe was the 75 Rosso Esports Ferrari LMGT3. I believe they're heading down the Mulsanne Straight now. So it's still quite some distance to close, but he'll be on the back in no time at all, and then it'll be time for green flag.
And quite a delay here. I may have typed it wrong, but my notes say this incident with the botting Ferrari happened 14:13 remaining. So that's 50 minutes so far under virtual and safety car. So quite a delay here. And as a driver, I mean, you're burning time off of your stint, and you may be happy about that, but you can't be happy about getting out of the groove, getting out of the rhythm, and waiting. Yeah.
I mean, a year or two there was. Sorry, to address your point first. Some teams have bronze drivers who have the minimum of 6 hours, certainly in LMGT3 and LMP2 Pro-Am. Obviously, they won't have the pace of their gold, silver, platinum teammates. So this is ideal for those teams who have probably the slowest driver out on track, wanting to burn down some of their stint time without fighting for position. This would be a perfect way to burn through it. And like we said about the long safety car, a year or two ago, there was a 5-hour one at Le Mans. So we strive for realism here at the 24 de La Sarthe. So yeah. Just trying to keep it realistic.
Turn 1. End of the pacing line is in turn 1.
The end of pacing line, turn 1. Where is the 75 car now? Going through the Porsche curve, so they should be there end of this lap.
Well, folks, I hope everybody has taken advantage of their break. I think you could have done a medium rare steak, a baked potato, and some greens, and gotten that on board while we were waiting for the restart. But I think it is getting close here.
Yep, as we look to our final straggler closing up across the start-finish line with everyone down the Mulsanne Straight, it will be imminent before green flag conditions.
Okay, let's have sensible gaps, please. Car 75 is catching the pacing line. Attention to car number 35. Car 75 will be placed in front of car 35. So car 75, please find your place in line. You will line up in front of car 35. Any black flags will be cleared. Our intention is to go back to green at the end of this lap.
There we are, race control issuing out their last few instructions. Sorry, JR, you take over.
Oh, no, that's just what I was going to say. A lot going on out here, and these race directors have their hands full, to be sure. And Junior there gets himself slotted in front of the car he was directed to, 35. That's Meyer and a Mercedes. And you heard the race director. Their intention is to go green after this lap. You see the weaving there, which Connor clarified was okay until after Arnage. So folks are wanting to get some heat in their tires. Carlos Jr., Rosso Esports, definitely got a little head start on that as he's lighting the wick to catch the back of it back there through the first part of the course. So he's probably feeling pretty good about his tires as competitors around him weaving quite a gap in front of him there, though. And the race control might have directed him to do that. I heard something about a gap, but could not quite make out the details.
Yeah, so race control issued car 75 with an instruction to slot in ahead of car 35, as that's where he was before the wave around started. So whether the 75 missed his initial call for a wave around or not, but they've redressed those two as they were when the safety car was deployed. .54 cars streaming along down the Mulsanne straight behind the safety cars. We look to go green. 2 retirements in this race once again. The number 4 Delta Racing LMGT3 BMW, who retired 26 laps ago. Yep, and the number 14 Grow Racing team car that retired 82 laps ago. So still a strong field of 54 cars circulating as we approach the midway point in around an hour and 17 minutes.
Alright, I'm still seeing some very silly contacts under safety car. This is very simple. Just leave gaps.
Apparently the race director seeing some naughty behavior out there in line as these cars desperately try to get some heat in the tires. As Connor told you, the weaving that you're seeing now has got to stop after Arnage. So we're coming down, I think, to the Mulsanne hairpin, then the short run down to Indy, and then the weaving will have to cease. And frankly, I'm not super convinced how effective that really is in terms of putting heat in the tires, but we'll get Connor's input on that in a second. I've never found it particularly effective aside from a way to be that guy and cause an incident under yellow behind the safety car, but here we go.
Is this the weaving?
Yeah.
Yes, VSCA has actually put a ban on the tyre weaving because in our season opening race there was some silly spins under caution conditions. So and it was found to not be super effective. I'm sure on this very long circuit it'll be a bit more effective than it was at Daytona. But yeah, we're approaching the final third of the lap, and soon, so soon till we're green, JR.
Yeah, by the time this one's over, yeah, I showed 14:13 remaining when that incident happened in Indy. So
please. That's enough of the weaving. Please prepare for
just shy of an hour.
Race director has seen enough of the weaving and said, stop it right now. But yeah, by the time this one's over, we'll have about an hour under yellow here at La Sarthe.
Like being told off by your teacher, isn't it? Having someone on race control telling you off all the time.
It's never happened to me. I've never gotten a black flag. I've never been in trouble for anything. I'm just going to leave it at that.
On board with a 62 as we approach the final couple of chicanes here. So close to going green. He's got a few GT3 cars in front of him. So,
and the butterflies. It reminds me of the classic opening of the movie Le Mans with Steve McQueen, where you're approaching the green and the heartbeat just gets louder and louder in the background. It's so accurate. No matter how many starts you've taken, you are awash with adrenaline in this moment. So many things can go wrong, and control of yourself mentally is probably the most important thing right now.
Oh yes, for sure. As the leaders should be taking that green flag anytime soon. I don't think my heart rate's gone down at all since this race started. And we're green. There we are.
Green flag is out. And for me, all eyes are on Engelstad and that 113 Ferrari. As we said, he's got to get 30 prototypes past him cleanly, and then he'll get to enjoy some clean track for a couple of laps potentially. But that is a big if. It can be tough. Everybody's on cold tires. Everybody has lost their rhythm, and off
is he gonna hit
goes...
anyone?
Oh my goodness. And it is a 7-10 split in the Dunlop quarter. You saw that 911 spinning off, went across the track, and might have taken a couple other cars with him. We'll go back and show you that, but that is exactly the start that nobody wanted. There's another car going sideways on cold tires on their run up.
Oh, big hit.
Huge hit from Santos. Call a medic. That is a big one right there through Tetra Rouge. That is... oh my gosh. I mean, I was expecting a little more. Here's another look at that 911. Over rotates. Tank slapper tries to catch it, and right back across the track. And here comes the 710 split right there. Oh, no contact. That was another crash. And man, you got to think the race director not happy about this. The safety car is going to come back out.
Full course yellow in 10, 9, 8,
Well,
7, 6.
Poor Emmett didn't know where to look there. There was so much going on. I believe we still didn't see what happened to the 32 wastegate. It looks as though they gathered up a spin. Ooh. I think that was, I count 4 separate incidents there at the restart, just as you were talking about cold tires. So perfect timing from you there, JR.
Oh my gosh, and I regret saying now that yellows beget yellows, and you're seeing it right now, and you're seeing it why. You're seeing why. Multiple classes of cars trying to make the most out of that opportunity. I mean, it's hard, Connor. I mean, you've been there. This car you've been chasing is right in front of you. What was a 1 minute gap is now 1/10. You have an opportunity to pounce on cold tires if you're willing to roll the dice. And it doesn't always work out, as you saw right there. A couple of meatballs out. You see on our timing tower that Rosso Esports P2 car showing a meatball. And that is not the only one. We had some big hits on that restart. Is it one of the Porsches going around? That's the number 10.
The Vision Motorsport.
Or not a Ferrari.
Hypercar. Oh yes, yep. The Vision Motorsport Hypercar, that Rosso Esports car that took that big hit. They were running P2 and LMP2. So that's going to be a massive loss for them. So much damage, and they were running in such a good position there. Oh, and another one before even taking the green. Victor Clote in the number 2 Vortex Aston Martin, backing up into the wall. I don't know where to look, JR. And another one.
Yeah, that is an awful lot. And there goes a BMW off. It looks like it's going off of the Dunlop, right off of the start. That happened a couple hundred meters down the track from the waving green flag. So Pretty poor restart right here. And here's some more kerfuffleage. Oh, that is a replay of that number 5 Corvette. He got some help from behind from one of the Mustangs, and here comes that Ferrari backwards. There goes a 911 backwards across the track. So the race director shaking his head right now, and the safety car back out. So pretty poor restart.
I know where to look. It looks as though the Ferrari V1M car was trying to get it pulled up to avoid the 84 Porsche and just put too much steering in on cold tires and looped it. But fortunately for them, they didn't hit anything.
Gosh, spotters, tell your drivers, don't lose the race now. There's 13 hours left. You just got to survive it. You see somebody coming, go ahead, get out of the way. The chances are you're going to drive past them in the dirt with them facing the wrong way. We saw that right there. And a very tough restart, shaking up the field again. Just a full course yellow for now. Don't see any toes happening.
10 seconds. 10.
No, here we go. You heard the race director. Here comes the countdown, and we're going to take another swing at it. The field still packed together. Looks like we're on the Mulsanne straight right now, and here we go. Green, 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 riding along with Brandon Munich there in the Impact number 7 P2 car, and looks like he might have got smoked on the outside, dropping him down into P4. Yeah, that was Paluro driving the Bravo Snow car, getting the jump on the restart, and actually that was down into Indy. Apologies. And here comes Arnage, and that is a tricky corner on warm tires. You see the little wiggle out of that 963 there. So back underway here, and getting heat in the tires the old-fashioned way at speed. So race back underway, 13 hours remaining, and a big shakeup in the front of the field after that horrid restart.
Cars tiptoed through Porsche curves, still not got tyres up to temp in the cold of the night out there relative to what the temps were showing during the day. Looking at Revolution E-Racing here on the tail of, I can't quite tell who that is there, negotiating traffic, and they've got a hypercar sitting behind them patiently. Oh, what a move. Cold tyres, as brave as you like.
Yeah, that move for position, and that's one of those risk benefits you have to calculate on the restart. Whoa, and there goes Nicholas Gowan over-rotating in that Corvette and cannot keep it out of the barrier. Oh my gosh, got into the kitty litter. I know fans of that team were hoping that was going to slow him down, or that is a Ferrari, sorry. They're going to slow him down and keep him out of the barrier. Does not happen, and that car takes a huge hit. Is going to drop that car way down in the standings. That's Gowan in the number 18.
It's a black and orange there for them as well. I think they might have towed, unless they're limping back to the pits. I'm not quite sure. But Nick is my teammate. I raced for that team in the VSCA series. No, they're still waiting for a tow. He can't get it moved. They had just got up to P3. They had picked their way up the field so well. Oh, what a shame for them.
Yeah, that is a heartbreaker. And I've got the Fisher Porsche driven by Steinhoff in the pits, the Vortex Aston Martin driven by Declote in the pits, and Gowan waiting on a tow currently after that big hit. So things very, very messy here in the middle of the night. The track is cold. The tires are cold. People out of their groove, and it is carnage here early in the early laps following the restart.
9, 8.
Another full course yellow imminent here, as you can hear from the race control counting down.
4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow now.
And that countdown to the yellow, very interesting, and kind of remind us of the rules on that. They have to be on the pit speed limiter when the race director says 0. Is that correct?
So, according to the rules, they have to be on the. This is where some people hear the countdown, blind panic. They're like, I'll start slowing at 1. They have to be on the pit speed limiter by the time that the race control has finished the word now. And so you get some people thinking, oh, I can push it an extra tenth before I slam on the brakes, put on the pit speed limiter. Some people, like I said, blind panic. I'll start slowing down. I'll be safe. I'll be conservative. I'll get the pit speed limiter well within time. And this could cost a second either way.
Well, and I'm not going to name names, but I think during a couple of these countdowns I've seen tonight, I saw some pretty cheeky moves there of people taking advantage of a competitor who was maybe taking the conservative route that you described and getting a cheap position out of it during that countdown. I think I saw it just then as well. But here we go, back under the yellow.
7, 6.
And looking at another restart, and look at this heavy traffic that's going to go green. Here we go. Buckle up, folks. What could possibly go wrong? And my God, look at that Mustang. Put the power down, pulled away from that prototype there for a moment. And here we go. Whoa! Into the second chicane on Mulsanne. Tires still not up to song, but you know that the red mist, the adrenaline is flowing as you watch that P2 car. You're going to come up here and try the outside entry, get around some of this traffic, coming into Mulsanne. You see him weaving now to the inside. He's playing Frogger in between the traffic cones right now. And I don't want to jinx anybody, but these yellows might not be over. Running along with Calvo now, he's in that 747 Mustang, or that classic Mustang livery, running in P5, and that car in front of him. Let me just take a quick look. I believe that is for position. Yeah, that's Traber in the BMW. So that is 8/10 gap, and that is about the tightest gap in GT3 right now. And here comes Traber. And wants to take advantage of this tight traffic. And Connor, we talked about it. That's an advantage of these restarts. It packs you right together and can create opportunities if you're willing to roll the dice on cold tires. And obviously some of these drivers have rolled it and come up snake eyes.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I'm just glued to my monitor here. You don't know which direction to look at the moment. But sorry, what was the question again?
It wasn't a question. It was just kind of a statement about weighing the risk of attacking on cold tires after the safety car, because traffic is packed together, and sometimes it works out, sometimes doesn't work out so great. And here comes that move around the outside, the Corvette curves here as we finally finish a lap under green flag conditions here after a very rough attempted restart. We're back underway. That stoppage was an hour and change, about an hour and 15, but we're back underway with 13 hours remaining. And there are your standings. That Rosso car still showing the meatball. Are they still waiting for a tow?
They're on pit road. They've been on pit road for almost 11 minutes now, and these short full course yellows are going to have helped them, because it's going to slow down the field, making it longer to complete a lap. But I think they're going to be in there for a while, JR.
And the field pretty spread out right now, with the exception of the nice little fight developing right now for P5 in Hypercar. It's DeSager from Alquini, from Clark, from Molina, and that is for P5. Acura, BMW, Acura, Ferrari, and about just over a second covering all of those cars. You're riding along with Alquini right now. He is the meat in the sandwich between DeShazier and Oliver Clark. And again, some us race fans like restarts, and this is one of the reasons. We have got a fight brewing right now for P5, as you see this cluster of hypercars gaining speed down the straightaway.
Finds himself. Oh, he's going on the outside. Ollie Clark. What a move! Oh my goodness! Wow. That's not me being biased. I'd say that for any car, but my boy just pulled a hell of an overtake there.
Yeah, that was a spicy one. Maybe we could see that again. I think that was the second chicane, and with overcoming inside defense to make that one stick. Let's take another look. Keep an eye on Clark here. And yeah, there we go. Oh man, overcoming that inside T right there. That is a huge, huge move, and move of the night so far from what I've seen out here. That is a very, very tough one, and that is a driver who has some significant seat time out here to be able to work out that move under pressure. That was great stuff.
Yeah, Alpine also then lost out to the Rosso Ferrari on the exit because Oliver Clark created a nice hypercar-shaped gap for the Ferrari to follow him through. Got Sherrard versus the 52 Revolution car here. I believe they're approaching Indianapolis. Like I said, you don't want to be side by side coming into here, especially because the tyres still might be a bit cold. Last elite, oh. Yeah, probably for the best that Sherrard backed out of that one there.
Oh boy, that could have worked out though. Sherrard was definitely trying to lure his competitor into overcooking that entry right there to get him on the switchback. That could have worked, and pretty good racecraft by Sherrard there, and he's going to put that in his back pocket potentially for next time because his competitor there definitely took a hot inside line. That was licensed in the Revolution car, and that could have gone very, very wrong for license and very good for Sherrard. So great stuff right here off of the restart. We've shaken off the cobwebs and stopped crashing for the time being. Back underway here at Circuit de la Sarthe, and things looking good.
Oliver Carp pulled another overtake there on a fellow Acura team, Gamma Sim Racing, so he's up to P5 as their recovery drive continues.
And penalty just popping up there for car 10. Speed limit violation under the safety car. I'm trying to find that car. My lion eyes might be deceiving me here. I don't even see a car 10 on my timing tower.
That'd be the Division 1 Motorsport Ferrari that we saw loop at the safety car restart. Another one coming through driver 23, which is... It's Christian Sherrard, who we just saw battling with the Revolution car. Drive through for incident responsibility there.
It's like another black flag there. The Tri-State P2 Pro-Am car has had a drive through handed out to them as well. And you can see that Rosso Esports showing the meatball still undergoing repairs.
Yeah, been in the pits for 15 minutes now. They were running P2 at the time of their incident. Now 2 laps down. If they can get out before it gets to 3 laps, they're still... Oh. Looking through my fingers there. Jeez.
Wow, and that was a hell of a move right there. I think they're using a GT3 car as a moving pick right there on a very aggressive move into that chicane. The good driving all around here as these drivers are tired of going around slow and ready to get some work done out here, and they're getting it done as things getting very, very racy in heavy traffic. With, as you see, 13 hours remaining here.
30 running P2 and LMP2 Pro-Am has now just got a penalty for a closed pit violation. That would have been the last neutralisation. So, yeah, drive through for them. So that would promote the Revolution car up to P2. So currently in LMP2 Pro-Am, you've got P2 and P4 showing a black flag drive through.
See the penalty there, improper pit lane usage, and as Connor said, I can only imagine that's entering the closed pit, and another one of those mistakes that's kind of hard to conceive when you prepare all year to show up here, but we're all human, and that's why we're here seeing who can make the least mistakes in 24 hours.
That's what it's going to come down to. So in this, another thing to watch out for, you might see some black flags appear without explanation at the top. Cars in this race receive a drive-through penalty for every 20 incident points they receive. So those of you that know the service, 4 extra contact, 2 for a spin, 1 for an off-track, and they soon mount up and could result in a drive-through penalty.
Well, and they mount up here in a hurry. If you think Le Mans is tough for slowdowns, it's just as tough for X's. So easy. You really have to press the boundaries in a lot of places, and so easy to pick up 1Xs, and 20 is nothing around here, especially when you have to drive for 24 hours. There are going to be multiple cars getting multiple violations. That is a pretty tight window, and a little side-by-side action here on a nice move by the 89 car there. That is Brescia on Brendan Moaning. That's the NOP car moving up into P4 above the impact car of Moaning. Moaning hanging in there, but a very, very nice move in a difficult spot there under the Dunlop Bridge. You don't see a lot of moves right there, and so Brescia doing a good job pouncing when he saw that window open.
Yeah, the impact cars well, Impact and NOP, historically front-running cars in the ESCC series, and for those of you that regularly watch will notice that the number 7 usually runs that the regular season in Pro-Am, but have elected to race in LMP2 Pro for this round. So team principal Corbin Lenaway going all out for an attack on an LMP2 victory here. Right on board with Enzo Alquini, looking back at what looks to be the HRC Gamma Sim Racing car. The Acura was such a recognisable front headlight setup as they make their way through LMP2 traffic. Flash of the lights there. Oh, just gets it done before Mulsanne corner. Jesse DeShazier behind the wheel of the 137. They've had a very steady race. Qualified quite far down the order, but have picked up the spots, running in the top 8. Penultimate car on the lead lap, which is crucial when it comes to these very long safety cars. You want to be able to stay on the lead lap, otherwise you'd lose out big time, and be amongst your leaders when the pack's all bunched up. Alex Gonzalez in the Team World of Sim Racing Corvette usually ply their trade in the GT Pro class in VSCA. Looks like he's right on the back of the Bravo Snow Mustang for P6 in class there. As JR alluded to earlier, American V8 versus American V8, baby.
And that epic, I don't know if you've heard these cars in person. It is truly fantastic. That Mustang, new Mustang GT3 has that same classic Ford V8 sound as the old Shelby Mustangs from the 60s. It has to do with the engine geometry, but nothing really sounds like that. And that flat plane crank V8 in the Corvette, just tremendous. Saw 2 IMSA races so far this year at Long Beach and at Laguna Seca, and the sound alone worth the price of admission. Fantastic stuff.
Oh, you can't beat a deep V8 grunt as he looks up the inside into Mulsanne corner. Can he get it pulled up? Yes, he can. Good move from Alex Gonzalez there on Davey Amariz in the Bravo Snow car.
Wow, really nice move. And I'll tell you, I've told you that I have struggled in that spot, and braking deep in a mid-engine car like that is just asking for a spin. That was a huge move by the driver of that Corvette. Really good stuff, and good job of the Mustang leaving room there on the inside as well, and a lot of respectful and conscientious driving going on. We've had incidents here or there, but the quality of the driving, the racecraft that we have seen so far, really good out here.
Just hoping you're not putting the commentator's jinx on it again. Riding on board with Enzo Alquini once again in the BMW Team Delta Racing car. Who's that? He's behind Daniel Molina in the Ferrari Rosso car. They'll be relieved to be back on the lead lap with all the trials and tribulations they've had in this race. They're stuck behind, I think, that Porsche Fischer car is a lap down, but
Whoa!
oh, someone's gone. Didn't quite catch who that was. Did they keep out of the wall? That's the big question.
Yeah, lost somebody there. Might have been a P2 car that was kind of involved in.
Oh no!
Oh no, BMW.
Out of the
BMW
wall.
fans, I apologize for saying that was a P2 car. Definitely a BMW hybrid. Keeps it out of the barrier and back on the road there. But yeah, that car just kind of awkwardly snapped right there. And I feel like we've seen a BMW do that a couple of times out here. I'm not sure if it was that car, but kind of a strange snap. You know, the tires are hot and we're under optimal conditions right now. A nice, cool track, 20 degrees C. So we are really at the point in the race where lap time should be going down to their lowest of the weekend. And back with Alkini now. That's BMW M Team DRT car running in P7. In front of him, Daniel Molina in that Ferrari Rosso. And pressure building back here. That 963 there is a lapper, so that is not for position. As Alkini looks forward to his real target, that is Molina in that Ferrari. And Ferrari kind of copying the Porsche taillight there. It's messing me up a little bit out here. Whenever I see that horizontal line, I think it's a 963, but that beautiful Ferrari hypercar with a similar setup out back and great camera work right here by our producer Amet, showing us the action as these cars prepare to start another lap.
It's 45 seconds now separating the top 5 in Hypercar. Car in P5, the Acura HRC Team PBM, setting the fastest lap by some margin there. So keep an eye on their progress as they look to hunt down the top 4. They are currently 4.6 behind Pack Sim Sport in P4. 2 cars who are fighting their way through from the back of the grid from a lowly starting spot. So they'll be relieved that they're this high up, almost at half race distance. As we see Rosso Esports, their teammates in LMP2 still in the pits with a meatball, now 5 laps down off the LMP2 class leader. It's almost getting to the point where it's going to be really difficult to launch a recovery, but never say never at Le Mans.
Yeah, too right, and a big wreck up front could shuffle the field at any moment down to the last half hour. So not over till it's over. And here is Alex Gonzalez. He has got a threat from behind, I believe. Yeah, that is for position. And that's Calvo in the Ford flight level Ford running in P5. Gonzalez all over him in the Team WOSR Corvette, and I think we've seen those two spend a lot of quality time on track together so far in this one.
Yes, as we saw a couple of laps ago, Gonzalez dispatched of one Ford Mustang, as you'll see in the background. He's pulled quite a gap on him. Now he's hunting down another one. A lapped Lamborghini in between them. He'll be hoping he doesn't make life too hard for him, and then he can hunt down Paolo in the Ford for P5.
That is a lapper, I think, between Calvo and Gonzalez. That is not for position.
I believe that's the number 967 of Jorge Sid Santa Maria, part of the 967 iRacing team. In the Lamborghini, separating the two. I believe it's hard to tell under the cover of darkness, but Gonzalez will be looking to dispatch him as quickly as possible and launch a full attack on the 747 flight level racing Ford Mustang.
Yeah, I believe that is right. I think that is a 967, and George definitely seeing a blue flag right here. So Alex Gonzalez is going to want him to get out of the way.
Sure, but there'll be a customary flash of the light very soon. Oh, getting right up behind him there. But the 967 is more than welcome to unlap himself from the Ford in front if he's got the pace on him. So we'll see what we've got here.
Yeah, absolutely has the right to unlap himself, and it sure looks like he's hanging right with Calvo here. That gap not coming down. Here comes another penalty from race control. That's a drive-through for car number 15 for another pit violation. And there you see the Ferrari maybe kind of act like he's thinking about getting out of the way, but not really. And let's see that number 15. That is Bremgartner in the Rosso Esports P2 car. And that car has had its number called for the wrong reasons quite a bit last couple hours. So those guys having a rough one.
That is really rubbing salt in the wounds. They've just got out of pits after a 27-minute repair to be greeted by a black flag immediately. So it never rains, it pours. Lamborghini giving the Mustang a flash. He believes he's faster, so he might exercise his right to unlap himself here as he pulls alongside going up the Mulsanne. Looks as though he's going to get him. Oh, we've got a Hypercar approaching. I think that's the overall leader there getting involved. Nope, that's the 191. Looks very similar to the 58. And he gets clear. Yeah, so now it's V8 versus V8. No one in between them here, JR.
Yeah, and that Santa Maria in that 967 IRT car working to unlap that car, only 2 laps down, but plenty of time left. And here comes Gonzalez, going to take a peek. Where are we? Are we going to go side by side into Indy? We're heading down the hill. Oh my goodness! And once again, it's that is the location. Prime location for intimidation right there. You get on the inside, brake deep, and the car on the outside always seems to want to back out right there and not push that side-by-side entry. And you saw that go to work right there for Gonzalez, who moves up into P5 for Team Wasser, WSR.
Yes, the Spanish team in the Corvette fighting their way through the order. How many places up are they? I believe you have the graphic available. Qualified down near the back, but regardless, they are moving through the field. Up 8 now. Team World of Sim Racing. Got double stint racing up next, 4 seconds up the road. So all eyes on the BMW M4 now.
Gosh, and the change of position, since you were talking about gains from qualifying, are somewhat gaudy up front. I got Engelstad for Paul Botting up 17 in P1. Michael Pinto for Virtual Power is up 17. Eric Terryhog for Vulture M Sport up 17. That is 52 positions gained by the top 3 in GT3 right now. Obviously, some of that the misfortunes of others, but you got to think a big chunk of that is legit passes and some good driving by those 3 front cars. So a tip of the hat to them for sure.
Right on board with Augusto Tristão here in the W2E Pro GP. One of Lorenzo Bonda's entries to this race. One of 2, I believe. And who's that? That is the Simcast car in front of them. 2 separate classes here. W2E Pro GP running in the main LMP2 class with the Simcast car ahead of them running in Pro-Am. Simcast, myself and Chris Caddis appeared on their podcast on the build-up to this race. Simcast owned by Radio Le Mans, as many of you would have heard of, listening to them when you're at the circuit. And it was a pleasure to be part of their podcast and run them through the field and who to watch out for. So if you have Spotify, it'd be worth checking them out.
Yeah, absolutely. And where would we be without Radio Le Mans? I know that many of our listeners and us up here in the booth have spent many hours listening to John Hindot and company over the years. But yeah, Tristão he doesn't appear to be pressing here. Maybe getting a call from the pits to engage in a little bit of fuel saving here definitely makes a difference. Even if you can't gain a lap, as we were saying earlier, if you can spend less time taking on fuel, every second counts out here. So Tristow coming, dispatching the Porsche curves, now coming into the Corvette curves.
Ooh, that's going to be a slowdown there. He ran well offline. That might be a slowdown for Tristow there. And
yeah, so many traps for slowdowns out here. If any of y'all who have driven out here, I know that we have all felt that frustration. So easy to get slowdown penalties out here, and I think some of us wish they would push the track limits out just another tire width. Of course, then we would want that and then some, because give us an inch and we take a mile. But here comes Tristow into the pits now, and we'll see if the P2 pit cycle is going to start here in earnest following that restart. Probably about half an hour ago, I'm going to say 25 minutes maybe.
We look at Dylan Babcock there in the number 30 Fury LMP2 Pro-Am class. LMP2 is in a unique position here. For the race start and for wave around procedures, they're all judged as though they're one class, but you have a subclass of LMP2 Pro-Am. Difference between the two is the LMP2s must run at least one silver, and the LMP2 Pro-Ams must run at least one bronze in their lineups. As we cut to Oliver Clark hunting down Pax Simsport for P4 in the Porsche 963. Oliver Clark in the Acura. Just getting past the World of Sim car there. As we ride on board the blue Porsche just up ahead. Oliver Clark. Oh, both cars pitting.
And Clark had something going there. Clark cooking with gas on that last lap. Took 2 seconds out of Ray in the other 963 Porsche Pax, and it is pit time for them as well. So as we said, that safety car and restart kind of reset the fuel and tires. We're seeing cars coming in clusters, and it may be hypercar pit stop time. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hypercars in right now. So big pit cycle reset here at about the halfway point. And I think we saw a P2 car in earlier as well. So here we go, first round of pit stops for the second half of the race here.
Michael Simpson also on pit road for BMW M Team Tri-State Racing. The battle of the pit crews on pit road there, and it would give us an indication of who's been softer on their fuel, lighter on their fuel as they rejoin the track. Shorter pit stops, if you're able to come in with a bit more left in your tank, they'll take less time to fill the tanks. These guys need to remember, cold tires. We don't want to see another neutralization.
And I believe not everybody taking tires there, and so you've got prototype experience out here. What is the tire wear like in these hypercars at Le Mans?
I had conversations with a fair few LMP2 teams up and down the grid. They were worried during the daytime about being able to make them last a double stint. Some teams saying they're coming in at the end of their second stint with almost down to 50% tyre wear. And the LMP2s are limited, I believe, to 14 tyre sets plus the ones they started on, so 15 to last 24 hours. So yeah, there's a lot of babysitting the tyres going on in this race. But in nighttime, that gives the option to a triple. Sorry to interrupt you there, JR.
Oh, I was just kidding. So many ways to test the drivers and the teams out here by those kind of decisions, limiting tires, the balance of performance, everything we see to make this stuff more interesting and competitive. It's absolutely fascinating. Of course, I'm a card nerd and gearhead from way back, but really fascinating to see how those kind of decisions impact the competition down the stretch. I mean, obviously, be way different with unlimited tires. Adds another element to the competition, adds another nuance, and something else for the race managers to plan for and make contingencies for.
Oh yeah, we've certainly got our work cut out for this one. But what's going on here? Michael Simpson in a TSR car, being caught, it looks, by Nathan Ray in the Pack Sim Sport car there. And then the Acura just in the background as they head towards Indianapolis. A flash of lights from Michael Simpson to let the Wastegate car know he's coming down the inside. Oh, I always hold my breath going through Indianapolis there.
Yes, it's such a tough spot. That entry to Indiana. I'm not sure what it is about it, but there's a ghost there that every now and then just decides to chuck your car, and exciting to get it right, fun to get it right, and can be race ending to get it wrong. As we saw. I've already seen a couple of big impacts there, but yeah, there is Nathan Ray currently running in P5. That's a +8 for them, and boy, a lot of gaps really throughout the field. The hypercar field has spread out. I'm looking at the top 9 cars on the lead lap have a gap of about 2.5 minutes. So the restart pushed the cars back together, but only briefly, as kind of turning in to a track day for these drivers right now, with one pit stop under their belts following that restart. So seeing a yellow flag there on number 8. Must have just been a slowdown. But yeah, there is Ray. He had a kind of a tight gap behind him momentarily there, but that has disappeared. May have been a pit stop that allowed him to drop the competitor that was right behind.
So I'm noticing Porsche Asolith in the 58, the race-leading hypercars, using the fuel to their advantage. They were able to have an offset with everyone else going a lap longer earlier in the race, and it looks like they're doing that once again here. So we'll see where he feeds back out. I'm sure he'll have to pit at the end of this lap, if not next lap, at an absolute push. But running on air, they are. Manufacturing fuel out of thin air.
Yeah, I'll tell you that's that's been a source of frustration for me as a driver when I'm told to go into fuel save mode. All of a sudden, I set a purple lap, and I can't quite get my head around why. But maybe some coaching. I'm only 60. There's time left, right?
Oh yeah, there's always time left. I remember during the COVID race, someone made their Le Mans debut at during the COVID 24 Hours Le Mans. Someone made their debut, I believe, 70 years old in an LMGT3. So you still got 14 years.
Well, we talked a little bit.
Oh, there's a slow car pulled over there. I'm not sure who that is. If we can see who that is. It's the number 7 impact car, Brendan Munig. That can't be fuel. I think it's fuel.
Yeah, I think it is. Pit sequence well underway for those prototypes. Somebody made a miscalculation there. You heard that car sputtering, and whoop, there goes Jack Hedgecock in the number 18. And let's see where he...
10, 9,
full course yellow inbound here.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow now.
So we look at George Watson there, the number 62 Paul Botting Motorsports mandatory bronze. I believe he's got through 3 hours of his drive time already, so he's halfway towards doing his mandatory 6 hours. Fresh in the car, cold tyres, going to stay colder for longer. Now we got this full course yellow in place so that the number 7 impact car can be towed back to pits.
Yeah, seen a couple of cars sputtering down the Mulsanne Straight in this one, and interesting. I'd kind of like to hear from those teams kind of how that came to pass, although they may not be in the mood to discuss that. But kind of odd, yeah. I think we've seen a couple of cars run out of fuel in the same spot, and going to get a yellow here, and here's an Aston Martin pulling off, or are they?
Oh, what is going on there? That's got to be some sort of technical issue there. Joey Vroylik in the poised by VF Aston Martin. Not sure what's happening there.
You know, that's got to be one of those. Yeah.
Oh, did he make contact with the impact car?
Yeah. I think it was a mild impact, if I may, but yeah, that obviously some kind of technical issue going on. I won't speculate what it was, but yeah.
Don't know where to look. Even under full course yellow, we're having strange things happen here. Oh. Just looking in the pit lane, it looks like Joey Vroylik has pulled up agonizingly close to his pit stall. Has he run out of fuel in pit lane? Was that a fuel related issue? Oh, he's got moving again. He was there for some time. He must be having some sort of technical issue. If he hops out the car, then we'll know that for sure. But a strange full course yellow there for Joey Vroylik. Yes, he's been replaced in the car by Nick Ford, so that'll explain something. Not quite sure what happened there.
Yellow ending in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow removed.
As we go back to green flag running, just had a message in the YouTube comments from Impact Sim Sports team principal Corbin Lenaway saying technical difficulty and the car did not refuel in the pits for the number 7, so that explains why they ran out of fuel at Porsche Curves. Agonizingly close to pit lane, but a tow and a pit stop, and then they'll be back on track, the number 7, but we'll have to see how much time they lose.
And following the restart, this is the closest action we have right now. That is Reiser in the Simcast LMP2 Pro Am car. He's got very short gap ahead to Roberto Artur in the Rick Team Racing car. That is for P4. As you see, somehow a Porsche prototype getting in the way of that P2 car coming out of the chicane. But yeah, that gap down to well under a second at this point.
So we cut once again back to Enzo Alquini in the number 12 BMW Team Delta racing car on the tail of João de Gregorio in the Rosso Esports Hypercar Ferrari. This is a battle for P6 between the two. That Ferrari not having this race its own way after clean sweeping all of the practice sessions, qualifying and Hyperpole. They find themselves down in P6 on a recovery drive, as mentioned before. Here comes Alquini. Thinking better of it. Just
my
don't know
goodness.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, please bring that Ferrari to the U.S. That is beautiful. I have got to see it in person. It is killing me. But yeah, quite a fight going on right there. That is the closest fight on the track. That is 1/10 as we go down, make our way down to Indianapolis. The car behind not involved there. That is a lapper. But that is a fight for P6 between my cousin, Di Gregorio, and Alchini in the BMW.
I believe that's a number 32 Wastegate Ferrari behind them. Kyle Burney behind the wheel, showing some good pace as we cut to Stu Leslie in the 83. That's got all the hallmarks of a cold tyre spin, fresh out the pits. That looks to be kept out of the wall though, that's the main thing.
It's a nice look from the cockpit of Alchini BMW here as he looks ahead to that Ferrari hypercar, putting the pressure on here. Looks like Alchini able to get back up to the rear bumper of that Ferrari, but hasn't shown an inclination to try to make a pass happen here. Maybe in fuel saving mode, maybe weighing his options here. Here's Tiago Reiser. And the number 8, that is a Pro-Am car. That fight that you're seeing right now, Reiser has Dylan Babcock behind Reiser, driving for Simcast, Babcock for Fury, about 3/10 there. That one for P5.
Fury looking to fight their way back through. They were running in the top 3 for so long early on, but a couple of black flags has set them back. They'll be looking for a nice easy overtake so they can set on their way to catch the top 4 up ahead, but Simcast not making it easy for them. The Swiss driver Tiago Reiser holding his ground well.
Oh, and that pass has finally happened, as you see a replay here of BMW pushing through of Alchini. I'll put that M Team DRT car up into P6, and that is a gain of 3 from their qualifying position. Gregorio still hanging in there, but gap widening quickly now, 0.6.
Side by side for P5 in Pro-Am, and Tiago Reiser thinks better of it and lets Dylan Babcock on his way. Cutting back to the Vulture car, who we see up to P4. Quietly pick their way through the field, right on the back of P3. Behind Curtis Triber, one of the 2 twins sharing that entry, Curtis and Chris. Double Stint Racing teaming up with Tri-State Racing for this event. Tri-State run the BMW in both VSCA and ESCC. GT Am in VSCA and LMGT3 in ESCC. Double Stint Racing running in VSCA GT Pro as Fish has a look. Can he do another break in? Yes, he does. P3 for Thomas Fisher, the Canadian, making his way through there. He'll have his sights set on P2 now.
The nice camera work there by our producer. But yeah, really nice move. And, I'll just go ahead and confess that I am a Porsche guy and love to see that Gulf livery making that move into the chicane. Not over yet, though, as Triber is going to try the outside, heading down into Mulsanne. Seen a couple of little fights here. Ooh! And elbows out. That Gulf 911 says, no, you're not going to go along the outside. You see the friendly flash of the headlights there, and we're going to keep our eyes on that. That is Fisher driving for Vulture M Sport, and Curtis Triber driving for Double Stint 0.4 there. And Treiber not at all happy being shoved off into the kitty litter after that pass.
Yes, and he got a slowdown as a result. 4 wheels off the track in avoidance. As we see once again, Corvette versus Ford. You can't keep them apart. Team World of Sim overtaking the Bravo Snow car of Enrique Gomez.
And interesting, Gonzalez there in the Corvette, leaving the door wide open on that entry to Indy, daring Gomez to stick his nose down there, and Gomez declining. So still waiting to see a fight right there. Our 4-hour stint almost over here for Connor and myself, but we've seen some noses there. We've seen some threats there, but it seems as if the nobody has wanted to take the bait of entering Indy and heading down the hill side by side.
You certainly don't want to be on the shallower line. More steering input, especially on cold tyres. More steering input tends to see the rear try and overtake the front. If I was side by side, I'd want to be on the outside line, but I would probably be the one to back off and leave a move like that for my faster teammates.
There you go, folks. Pay attention now. Those are the words of somebody that you want on your enduro team, because Connor is not going to wad up the car. So make a note of it.
Please don't say that, because knowing my life, 2 hours time, the camera's going to cut to me in the wall at Indianapolis. There's George Watson. Class 62's mandatory bronze driver, just ticking down his minimum required drive time. Still leading, getting caught by Luis Vasquez in P2 in the Revolution E-Racing car, but the gap's around 31 seconds, so he just keeps it clean. And right on cue, another one of my cars, the number 113. Tristan Engelstadt, still P1. Yet to pit though. As we cut back to the Mustang and Corvette battle, the Mustang's got back ahead. Enrique Gomez back into P5 ahead of Alex Gonzalez there. But not for long, I said.
Yeah, that just happened. These two lighting up my timing and scoring over here, switching positions back and forth, and it's going to go back again to Gonzalez as these two inseparable. Meanwhile, up top, you see Race Control has issued a yellow speed violation to car number 9. That is going to be a drive-through for them, and I'm feeling like that is not their first. That is Austin Edwards driving the Porsche Fischer Hypercar, currently running in P10, up 5, but that probably not going to last after that drive-through, although, well, yeah, my timing tower is looking like the Matrix right now, so I can't say for sure, but that penalty could cost a position.
Talking of cost of positions, BMW M Team Tri-State Racing Hypercar have just served a drive-through, which has seen them drop from 3rd down to 7th. Don't know if that's them serving a pit stop, and then if it is them serving a pit stop, they'll have to come back around and serve a drive-through, costing them precious time and track position there.
And Fischer and Treiber still going at it here. I feel like those two have swapped in the last lap or two. It's,
I wonder if Fischer let him back pass for that squeeze on the entry to Mulsanne corner.
Yeah, it could very well be a little Teutonic action there between Porsche and BMW.
And another black flag. Sorry, another black flag for P2 in Pro-Am, car 52 Revolution. Luis Vasquez has picked up a black flag. Not quite sure what that's for, but he was closing down the leader to the tone of 2 to 3 seconds a lap. So that's going to halt his progress somewhat there. And once again, Corvette versus Ford, JR.
Yeah, we have a couple of pairs of GT3s putting on a good show today. We got Treiber and Fischer right there with about half a second between those two in a battle for P3. We also got for P5 and 6. That's what you're looking at there. I said it was Triber and Fisher. It wasn't. That's Fisher and Gonzalez and Gomez. Rather,
yeah, this is Gonzalez and Gomez. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, as we ride on board with a real sounding race car, proper V8, none of this V6 turbo malarkey. Stick a V8 lump in it and away we go. Aerodynamic profile of a brick, but we all love it. I absolutely adore the Mustang.
Yeah, they are fantastic, and ever since they borrowed the rear suspension from BMW a couple years ago, they handle like a proper race car now as well.
Correct, really. We're just cut between the battles of P3 and P5 here. Back to Fischer versus Triber here. BMW versus Porsche. It looks as though there's been a swap for the LMP2 lead. Turn 1 have taken the lead from Impact. Now lead them by 2.8 seconds. Ryan McIntosh behind the wheel of Turn 1. Ward Stuenenberg behind the wheel for Impact.
Yeah, not only has Impact fallen out of P1, he's got a fight for P2 on his hands. That's Philip Brazia behind him for the NOP team, applying pressure from behind and wanting to displace him from P2. So Stuenenberg, Impact going the wrong direction right now.
It's all playing into the hands very well at Turn 1. The more these two squabble, the more of a gap he can build. Gap's already up to 3.4. And it looks as though NOP is going to try and look going into the second Mulsanne chicane here. Staying well clear of the middle so they don't bottle out until now. A nice clean move there. P2 for NOP, yeah. P3 for Impact there.
Yeah, very nice move there. Obviously, the exit of that first Mulsanne chicane so critical. There's a slight error right there. You're a sitting duck on that long stretch between the two. Stuenenberg with Impact falling victim to that. Still hanging in, though. About half-second gap as we head down to Mulsanne. He'll have a crack down the straight approaching Indy. Maybe you'll see what kind of a drive he gets. And looks like Brazia got a little better run out of the Mulsanne hairpin and is going to be clear by the time we get to Indianapolis.
Looking at the standings, looks like we've had our latest retirement. Teichmann Racing, number 35. Mercedes LMGT3 becomes the third retirement of the race. So still going strong with the 53 car field here. As we approach half race distance. Looking at Jonathan Fodczyk. Oh. Keeps out of the wall this time. The 757 had a big wreck earlier. Find himself 6 laps off the LMP2 Pro-Am lead, but that gap won't be getting added to as he kept out of the wall nicely there.
Yeah, massive amount of kitty litter being trailed by that car as it comes back on the track. And my, oh my, look who it is. It is Thomas Fisher. They got Triber from double stint down to about 3/10 right now. And these two have been attached by a rubber band for the past 5-10 laps. Swap positions a couple of times. You see the gap beginning to widen a little bit there. All of a sudden got up to almost a full second. I'm not sure what was going on there. Fisher could have go ahead.
So Triber's going to get a bit of relief here because while we rode on board, Fisher went beyond track limits there and had a bit of a slowdown. He served it now so he could get back on the gas, but that has bought Triber a little bit of time there.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened there. I saw that gap fall off. Didn't notice the slowdown, but yeah, there you go. Just over a second now, breaking up that battle, at least for the time being. And the Gonzalez and Gomez battle has been broken up as well. That's about a 1.5 second gap. So Had some good GT3 action, is kind of settled into ticking off laps now.
He goes around the outside there, as brave as he likes. Someone's going to try and follow him here. Yeah, Merck's still going. It's hard, like you said earlier, when someone goes around the outside of that right hand and then cuts in front of you for the left. Can really take the air off the front. As we look at Pax versus PBM Acura here for P3. Josh Mitchell, the Scotsman, very proud Scotsman, now behind the wheel. Proudly displayed the Scottish flag. Didn't want a British flag on that car. Oh, he's earned himself a slowdown there, but he is hunting down that Pax car. All to play for here. Top 6 in Hypercar, separated by 54 seconds on this 3-minute 25, 3-minute 24 lap for the Hypercars. So you can really, relatively, cover them with a blanket there. But yeah, top 9 on the lead lap. Certainly a lot more than we had earlier in the race.
Yeah, indeed, pretty impressive. More than half of the Hypercar field on the same lap. Pretty good showing by the GT3 field as well. About the top 7 on the lead lap. So very, very good competitive field here, and things winding down for Connor and I. Within the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to be handing it off to Ashley Denman and Matthew Duffin for the next part of our coverage. So stick with us. Matthew and Ashley will get to cover the golden hour, or the happy hour, as so many Le Mans racers call it, as sunrise right around the corner here. It's just before 4 a.m. here at Cirque de la Sarthe, and we're about to see the sun come up over the French countryside. One of the best parts of the race, especially. I know you've been here, Connor. You're a little cold after staying up all night. The sun creeps up, and you find a sunny spot to kind of warm your bones up in the morning. You've been there, right?
Yes, I find that I'm starting to crash from the caffeine that I've had throughout the race. Yeah, Monday to Friday, you're on a different type of beverage, and then for race day, you're just pumping yourself with caffeine. You don't want to miss any of the action, and yeah, it's a long slog. But when you get to the morning, you know you're in for the final push.
And can I ask when are you driving?
So the plan is, when I am released from the commentary booth, I'm going to check in with my team, see if they're partway through a double or triple, and then once that sequence is finished, I'm jumping in to let that 40-second gap tick its way down to P2.
All right, so no nap time. You're just
no nap time
through and get in. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good. Best. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be straight out there, trying to just hand it over in one piece near the sharp end to my faster teammates.
Well, best of luck to you. Your teammates have definitely been carrying the load so far and doing an excellent job. Your team leading in P2 Pro-Am and in LMGT3. So a good showing so far. Plenty of time left, of course, but at the 12-hour mark, the botting team's looking good. And wherever your pop is, I'm sure he's looking down with a smile.
Thanks, JR. I appreciate that. Just another 12 hours to go.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he won't be looking down kindly on that one. As Josh Mitchell looks to make it 3 PBM teams in the top 3 in 3 different classes. Right back on the rear of that Pax Porsche there. Well within tow range. Let's see what he can do. Oh, it's so hard to commentate your own cars. Oh my lord, late on the brakes. A bit squirrely under the exit for the Porsche there, but should hold it into the next Mulsanne chicane here. Josh Mitchell looking to apply the pressure as they encounter a Porsche LMGT3 and a Lamborghini. Didn't see him there. And there's our favourite battle there, JR, Corvette versus Ford. Still raging on.
Those two right with each other, and yeah, one of them will get away and open up the gap and manage to reel it back down. Gomez now about 0.4 gap ahead to Gonzalez. Ford against Corvette for P5, and also look out Treiber and Cerqueira now with a 0.3 gap and a battle for P2. So a lot of good action in this one, over halfway through, and a very skilled and competitive field putting on a great show here.
Yeah, just getting word as we approach half race distance, Going Racing and the number 18 Ferrari have retired. So they become our 4th retirement of the race. Joining fellow LMGT3 drivers Teichmann Racing and Delta Racing and LMP2 Pro Runner Grow Racing Team as our 4th retirement now. They were running as high as P3 at one point before Nick Gowen's big wreck in the Porsche curves. Such a shame for them. They worked so hard to make their way through the field, and it all got undone by one cold tyre spin. But Le Mans giveth and Le Mans taketh away, JR.
Yeah, absolutely doesn't. Oh my gosh. A little bit of PTSD right there. I hate it when prototypes take my space there in the Porsche curves as a GT3 driver, but that one working out that time just caused me to clench up here in my seat a little bit, and potential, oh my goodness. Yeah, Ray is not messing around right now. Knows that Mitchell is lurking right behind, can't afford to be cautious and wait for these GT3s right now. He's got to keep the pedal down, and so far so good. But here comes Mitchell and another GT3 car getting involved. Is he going to take away his exit right there? Oh my goodness, Mitchell is driving hard and feeling racy, rolling the dice right there for sure. That is a sketch move. But Mitchell says, JR, shut up, I'm in P4 and I got work to do. I'm chasing down Nathan Ray driving for Porsche Packs because I want that P3, and I want it right now.
Taking no prisoners there. If you stay behind a GT3 one corner too long, you know, you could lose seconds. As it looks as though Curtis Treiber's caught right up to P2 here. Lucas Chiquera in the Virtual Power Sim Racing Porsche. He's dropped Thomas Fisher by almost 3 seconds as he looks to make the move for P2 here. Looking towards the outside for the first Mulsanne chicane here. Can he get it done? No, Chiquera just late enough on the brakes. Oh.
Some great, let's call it communication from that 911. Releasing brake pressure right at the end there to cut off any idea. Treiber, you know, you may think you have it, you don't. And closing the door very effectively there. This one not over there, though, by any stretch of the imagination. Treiber pedaling hard, as was pointed out, has dropped Fisher by 2.5 seconds and is now all over that Virtual Power 992 GT3R.
Maybe looking to get the run up to Mulsanne corners. There's an Acura lap in them. Oh, it's right on the tail, almost pushing him on the way to that corner there. Porsche so slippery in a straight. We noticed early on we'd gained time on the Porsche curves and through Indianapolis, but on the straights they would just pull away. Right, well, as we approach 4 a.m. here, local time, it seems like it's the end of You're a nice time in the commentary box, JR.
You know, it is, and I got to tell you, when I sat down, the 4 hours seemed like forever, and it has absolutely flown by. It has been fantastic to share the booth with you, Connor, and really enjoyed the product here that we're putting out for you at Cirque de la Sarthe. And I think that is going to be it. We're going to hand it off to Ashley Denman and Matthew Duffin here in a moment. But thank you so much for tuning in to ACV TV for the 24 Hours de la Sarthe. On behalf of myself, I am J.R. Gregory. And on behalf of myself and Connor Pudding, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And Connor, good luck to you and your teams in the remaining 12 hours.
Thank you, JR. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for sticking through the technical difficulties with us, and enjoy the rest of the race.